Today, we'll be looking at another video clip taken from the Twitter account The Libs of TikTok, in which we'll see a woman spewing vile, divisive rhetoric, but feeling she's okay to do so because society is so insane now. People can say whatever they like, provided they're coming from a position of perceived victimhood.
Controversial opinion, but if you have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. Ask for explicit permission from everyone, because just because you're comfortable with them doesn't mean that everybody's comfortable with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person. Don't give them that card to use against other people. Please don't do that.
So I'll go for the low-hanging fruit, the obvious argument. What would happen if I, a white man, made the same comments about anyone who doesn't have the same colour skin as me? What would happen is my fucking house would get burned down. Because in effect, I'd have to use very outdated views and say, if you're white and you hang around with the blacks, or if you're friends with any Asians, you need to notify every white person on the face of the earth. A fifth of the world's population, and I don't know if we're counting the Jews, but only after all of us have approved it, then you can think about introducing your exotic bloody friends. Sounds a bit racist, doesn't it? And is it just me, or does she seem blissfully unaware that in effect she's promoting racial segregation, almost the reintroduction of apartheid? And they were really ugly chapters in humanity's history. Because she's judging people, an entire group of people, on suppositions based on nothing other than the colour of their skin. That's an almost textbook definition of fucking racism. I am intrigued to know what she means by shenanigans, because I'm a white guy and I have no fucking idea what she's talking about, but it sounds like stereotypical behaviours associated with people the same colour as me. But again, if I were to adopt a rather 1980s attitude, because there was a lot of racism in the UK then and it was fucking disgusting, and apply the same logic, it would be like me saying, well, I don't want to be mixing with black people carrying out their voodoo, or the Indians with their funny smelling food, or the Chinese making curries out of stray dogs. They were genuine attitudes and they're vile. There was a rumour that Chinese takeaways used the meat from stray dogs. Now, which is more realistic? Mr. Wong getting up on Monday morning and going to the butcher to get some pork and some beef and some chicken, or that he spends every night running up and down alleyways with a big butterfly net? I said butterfly net to give you a mental picture of what the net would look like. I'm not suggesting that canines can fly. I'm somewhat baffled by the notion that no person of colour should ever make any white person feel that they are a good person. Really? No one Caucasian has ever done anything good? There aren't white doctors and nurses, people who've given up kidneys, donated bone marrow? Does none of that count? And does the daft cow not realise that her attitude, it fucking fuels racism, it doesn't cure it? But if we scratch the surface a little, I think I know what's really going on, because in her TikTok name is the word lesbian. Now, I've got nothing against lesbians, no one gets to pick their sexuality, and trust me, I've watched hundreds of their films. But she's coming across as a stereotypical angry lesbian. And I wonder if the reason she's so anti-white is one night she tried to pick up a pretty blonde girl who said, no, sorry, I'm straight, refused to lick her clit, and since then, every white person has been the fucking devil incarnate. That was a short video. As ever, thanks for watching.